Hello out there, this is Halloween. And you're on Fúria.
Esse é o Fúria começando exatamente neste momento, tudo belezinha por aí? A gente vai ter entrevistinha com o Halloween, que por sinal começa agora. Veja só, sejam bem-vindos alemães falando exatamente sobre heavy metal. Vai lá, Halloween começando na sequência Merlin Manson.
Let's talk about the last album, The Time of the Wolf. I've been listening to it very carefully. It's kind of different from the last albums. What can you tell me about that? Which direction are you taking now?
Actually, it's just a little bit harder because the theme of the album is harder. Time of the Oath is dedicated to Nostradamus, which is the old Frenchman predictor, and he didn't say so much nice things, so you just cannot do a pop album with it. And I think it's a little bit harder than the last one, and probably more to the point as a band, because we simply had more time to rehearse before we entered the studio.
That's why you recorded the album in a short time. It took him.
We actually recorded it in a short time, but what the most important thing is, I think, for a band, not the time in the studio, but the time before the studio. And during the days of the Master of the Rings album, we were together like 2 weeks only. So we had about 2 weeks in the rehearsal room. The studio was already booked. So rehearse 2 weeks and then go in the studio, and then you are happy to actually record an album that sounds like the Master of the Rings album. So we were more than satisfied with the result because of the short time we had.
Hello. About the sense of humor that you had in the lyrics since the beginning, when all the bands were trying to look really bad and you were like smiling in the videos and this kind of sense of humor. What do you think about that?
It's a matter of with what message do you want to come across. So I think nobody in this band is actually interested in giving bad moods, negative thinking, or something like point with the fingers on other and say you proclaim the end of the world or shit like that.
What about this theme, like Nostradamus?
Nostradamus never predicted the end of the world.
But this in 95 to
the year of 2000, he said something very important things will happen for mankind, and probably what he is talking about is more or less nature catastrophes, which are maybe started by nuclear power. So mankind is responsible for it.
Can be a kind of warning, you think?
Absolutely. First of all, a warning, and second of all, his predictions go to the year 4000. And he predicted 1000 years of peace and freedom after the year of 2000, so it's pretty nice, isn't it?
It's like if your father is telling you, you are 5 years old, and your father's coming out telling you, if you go out this evening into that bad area, there might be someone who would like to beat you up. So if you meet someone who's looking bad, always stay out of it. And this is a bit like what Nostradamus has done to mankind.
Yeah.
So very easy, there's nothing bad about it.
Which is going to be the future of the heavy music? It's not on the top now, but do you think that's going to be on the top again? What do you think?
Sure, I mean, characters need to show up who are in fact able of doing good material. So I mean, the other day at the club I had a piss because we had so much beer going on and all this, and somebody put on Dio, Stand Up and Shout, and I had to think of that time and the quality of the music by that time. I mean, it's been the 80s, and even by that time I wasn't really satisfied with what was going on, but at least we had Dio doing that by that time. What do we have nowadays? Not a lot. And so, musicians would have to come up with a lot more fantasy and a lot more workmanship, and that they know what it's all about. And it's also a matter of character and knowledge, after all. And if it goes on like this, you can't very much expect stupid people to do good music for the future. So record companies would finally have to look for whom they sign. Yeah. And then it's quite possible that you have good music going on. Right now I think there's a lot of clever bands around who don't have a contract, and they're just doing their good music for nothing, because right now everybody's quite cynical, going like, yeah, I mean, that's like very, very good, but nobody wants to hear it today.
The responsible one are the companies, the wanna make money as fast as possible. Record companies signing every bullshit that sounds exactly like the one thing that had some success going on 1 or 2 years ago.
They use this band for
and then you find
1 month.
all over the world you find the copy of the copy of the copy of the copy from Smells Like Teen Spirit. How stupid.
That's true.
And I think you just can't not do this thing like the big rock and roll revolution again, like the Who did and like Deep Purple did and like Led Zeppelin did or something. That has been there, so we got to think of something else to do then.
And apart from that,
Doing it in a different way.
the other bands being around now, they certainly don't have a spirit of the aforementioned bands, really not. And record companies used to build up their acts over a long period of time. Think, for instance, of the Spin Doctors. What happened to them now? Where's the record company doing something for them? And what's about Four Non-Blondes? I mean, who's doing promotion for it now? Or think of whoever's been there. Think of Extreme. If Extreme come out with a new record or so, I mean, will it be promoted properly? Will it work? Will they do a good record? And this is what I mean. I mean, the circumstances are completely wrong.
So now, you think that this is the best, maybe the best album that you recorded ever? Or?
Well, this would be exactly what every band says from their latest product. Probably everybody's very proud of it, and I think we did the best we could during the days. But after listening to it a few months later, I always find here and there little things that I would change if I would have the chance again. But overall, I think we are all very satisfied. We are all very proud of it, which doesn't mean that we are not able to do a much better album.
Sure.
But this was the best we could do during the days. And well, concerning the mixture of an album, for example, now we have nearly 1 hour playing time on an album. The times have changed. You don't put vinyl out with 38-minute playing time. So nowadays you don't only have the chance to, but you have the need to put some ballad stuff on it, because otherwise the people would simply hate the record.